Okay, we're checking our line in the snow here, and haven't got anything so far. We missed like 3 or 4 coyotes from traps being frozen and coyotes just stepping all around our trap. But I heard some barking over this way, so trying to figure out what's going on, and it looks like I caught somebody's dog. Never a good thing to catch somebody's dog. Good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. Yeah, you feel better after being out of that trap, huh? Is your foot a little sore? You want to clean it up a little bit? You'll be fine. Yeah, you're doing good. You just didn't like being in there. Yeah, you're doing good. Here, we'll rub on your foot a little bit. Yeah, we'll rub on it. We'll rub on your foot a little bit. You're a good boy. How the heck does your mom and dad let you get out here in the middle of nowhere? You're like 2 miles from a house, and you got no collar on. Yeah, but you're friendly. Yeah, you gonna lick that paw a little bit now? Gonna clean it up? Be feeling better soon. You're a good boy. So before I get questions about this, yes, I'm going to reset this trap. Just because it was a domestic dog that was caught in here, I'm still going to reset it. I've got this big catch circle that's going to stick out like a sore thumb in the middle of all this snow. There's dog scent all over the place here. He's urinated all over the place here. This was actually a T-bone set. You can see there's the T-bone right there. So I'm gonna, it's a little bit muddy here, but I'm gonna, I think I'll be able to do this still. And I'm gonna put the T-bone back in. I'm gonna bait and lure this thing. And I'm gonna set this trap, and I hope that we're gonna have a coyote here tomorrow. Because even though it's a domestic dog, these canines will still be attracted to this catch circle and to the whole area. Okay, so we're getting ready to remake this set, and this is a set that I just caught that pit bull in. No idea whose pit bull it is. Did not have a collar on it. Thank God it was a friendly pit bull. So what do we do about catching dogs? Because you're gonna catch dogs. If you trap very long, it's only a matter of time that you're gonna catch dogs. And by dogs, I specifically am talking about domesticated dogs. Your neighbor's dogs, other dogs, you're going to catch dogs. And unfortunately, the main reason we catch dogs, where I am right now, it's probably a good 1.5 miles to a house, something like that. But people, at least in the Ozarks, maybe it's different where you guys live, but in the Ozarks, historically, a lot of people just don't keep very good track of their dogs. So they just let them roam around. And I mean, I have a dog, but I keep track of my dog, and I know where she is. She's a farm dog, and I keep track of her. Number one, I care about her. She's my dog, and I love dogs, and I love animals, and so I want to make sure she's safe. I want to make sure she's taken care of, and she goes lots of different places with me around our farm. I'm trying to make her into a little bit of a trapping dog, but that's going to take a little bit more work because she's a rescue and she's kind of skittish. So that's a different video for a different day. But regardless, you're going to catch dogs. So, and I'm always fearful of dogs because I do not want to be one of these people that gets bit by somebody's dog while you're trying to let it out, and then I end up in the emergency room with stitches and you know, whatever. It's just not something I want to do. So in this particular case today, I didn't shoot any video because I had my hands full. I mean, this was an 80-pound pit bull. So I didn't have time to shoot video, but it started wagging his tail as soon as it got out of the truck. That was great. It was whining, which is fantastic, versus growling, because, you know, dogs, when they're hurt, when they're scared, they can go one or two ways. They can growl and be tough and rumble, or they can whine, and this one was whining, and thank God he was kind of a big teddy bear, because he would have been a major handful for 2 people, more or less me. So what did I do to get this dog out? Well, I went up there, I put my hand out, he came to me in the trap. that's a great sign. He was wagging his tail. He kind of had his head down a little bit, like he was being submissive. Fantastic. I let him sniff my hand. I moved really slow. I let him, you know, basically kind of sniff all around my hand and my glove. And then I started petting him, and I was talking to him, telling him good boy, because he was a male. And then I started petting him and rubbing him on the side, and eventually I knew the best sign was when I started rubbing him on the side, he kind of started lifting his leg up a little bit, and eventually he laid down and let me rub his belly, which is fantastic. So then I rubbed his belly and just kind of got on his good side, and then I started to slide down in there and try to let that trap go. And unfortunately, he got caught in a Sterling, which is the only Sterling I have. Everything else I have is MB550s, and I do have like, I don't know, half a dozen Bridger #2 modifieds, but mostly MBs. I think they're a little bit easier to release than the Sterling. So I reached down, tried to release the Sterling real quick, and he immediately jumped and started whining because his foot was hurt, which scared me because, you know, you don't ever know what these dogs are going to do. So then what I did is I got my catch pole, and he's obviously used to having like a collar on him or a leash or something, because he didn't mind that catch pole going over his neck. And basically what I was doing is I wasn't holding him down on the ground like you would a coon or something when you're releasing it. I just wanted a little bit of added protection that I could keep a hold of that neck and try to stop that neck if he did try to snap at me. So then I put the end of the catch pole down into the ground, which kind of held his head away from me a little bit. And then I used my glutes and my left quad and hamstring to put up against him so I could have some barrier between him being able to snip at my hands. And then I reached down and basically let him out of that trap. And he had a big paw, so I had to kind of shake the trap a little bit to kind of get the jaw to release over the back of his paw. And then he immediately was feeling better, and he started snuggling, and then he just didn't want to leave me. And so we played a little bit, and I petted him. He's limping around. He's going to have a sore foot, but he'll be fine. So that's kind of how I did it today. That's generally the idea of how I release dogs. I don't know if there's a good way or a bad way to do it. That's generally how I do it, is just kind of play it by ear, use my instinct, and I'm not afraid to use the catch pole. If this dog was growling and was mean, I mean, honestly, I'd have held him down with that catch pole like I do a coon and release him. I'm not getting bit by somebody's dog. Even though I love dogs, I would do anything to help a dog, but I'm not going to get bit by one simply because it's scared. And I know it's probably not even going to bite me because it's mad. It's just scared. It's hurt. But I'm more upset at these owners that don't keep track of their dogs. It just kind of irritates the hell out of me. But everything was good today. Did not get bit by the dog. You know, that's the best thing that can happen. And the dog is perfectly fine. I rubbed his foot a little bit. He was limping around on 3 legs, and then by the time he wandered off, he was putting weight on his leg, and he'll be perfectly fine. He'll be a little bit sore, but he'll be good.